fact that people couldn't believe that we could actually make women-led films and that they would do well. And you know, I think the general perception was that female actor के life में एक ऐसी film होती है where she plays a substantial role, where she's leading the narrative, but that's just a one-off. You know, otherwise you have to play second fiddle. So I remember around the time that Ishqiya happened, everyone thought it was that one film of my career, but it actually changed the course of my career.
On my first job, the production manager asked me what I wanted to do, and I said I want to direct, and he said, but you can't because nobody will give you an opportunity. Women directors are jinxed.
I think the problem starts with not many women being behind the camera or in any of the technical aspects of filmmaking. There aren't enough of us.
I've done like 35 films or more, and I've had 2 female directors.
To be one woman on set all the time reminded me constantly that you're not meant to be there, that you were trying to do something out of the ordinary, and I didn't understand what was out of the ordinary.
I mean, half the time people still call you sir, and it's like, sir, madam. You know, I mean, that's just a manifestation of the deep-rooted kind of perception that we have of women directors.
That there's kind of this, you know, skirting around. How will you carry your camera? You're so thin, I was at that point. The work pressure is so much. You know, there are these kind of insidious comments that are made. So it's patronizing in a manner.
The notion is that as a woman director, you are really terrific at emotional stuff, but you're not good at anything which is, say, an action thriller or which requires, scale and action, etc. This is the most laughable thing.
You know, there are certain people who are not very comfortable having the conversation with you. They rather have that conversation with the man, with the director, with the guy sitting next to you. They're not comfortable discussing ideas. They're not comfortable discussing the details of filmmaking.
When I started out, there was just a general assumption if there was someone new on set, they would just assume that I was part of, I was a costume AD or I was makeup and hair, because that's where girls existed back in the day.
I think it was fun to have started in distribution and to be called a secretary on paper when you really weren't. But yeah, those are some of the things I remember, and to be asked, who's your father? Because obviously you cannot be in any decision-making authority because you're young and you're female, so that's a deadly combination.
Until unless women don't come in a position where they are actually making the larger calls, which are creative, which are business-related, till then there will not be an impact that is tangible.
You know, we all shoot at odd hours, we travel, and no one seems to care how we're getting home or how we're getting to a extremely remote place at 5 a.m. when it's dark.
You seldom get to be fortunate enough to have a very female-driven part, or for a filmmaker to mount a film on a female-driven character.
After something like Gangs of Wasseypur, I feel like I got stuck with the baggage of playing an older woman for a long time.
My cousin sister Karishma Kapoor told me that, you know how I used to get narrations of films. I said, how? He said the director used to come to me and said that आपके 2 गाने हैं और climax में आपका 2 close-up लगेगा. That used to be the narration to her.
This need and the appreciation for women in long hair, it seems like the war is at its peak. So I don't understand why housewives or women who wear sari can't have short hair.
I think we need to normalize cool, badass women not smoking. It's okay if they don't smoke.
In film, unfortunately, I think still the dominant narrative is very strictly male, from the male perspective. And we still have these very macho heroes and very weak and whimsical heroines.
And I'm not saying just make scripts about powerful women or women who are fighting for a cause and all, but just in general, stop telling stories where women come across in the same tropes that women come across as the good mother, the good wife, the sexy girlfriend. I mean, like there's much more to women than just that.
Having more and more women in writer rooms, having more and more women in positions of authority, I think. It's changing, but we can have more of them. for sure.
I feel there is definitely a lot of space for a lot of female producers to come and female directors. That will create a lot of change.
I will say that pay disparity very much exists at every level, and it's something that hopefully should be addressed.
I would like to see more stronger roles for women, both in front of the camera and behind.
If there are more women who are, say, commissioning content, curating content, making films, doing camera, doing sound, doing editing, then you're automatically going to see a change in what you're going to see on the screen.
Every film set should have a creche. Every edit room should have a creche. You know, as we're talking about why don't you see more women in technical fields, etc., why should it be that you are confined to domesticity and to the home?
You know, we all men should actually acknowledge the privilege of being the more favored gender in this industry and be responsible about it.